The information brought to light by a report recently disseminated by the Times newspaper indicates a profound and deliberate investigation currently underway within the highest echelons of the British government, focusing squarely on the potential acquisition of highly sophisticated multi-role fighter aircraft that possess the specific engineering and certifications required to carry and deploy tactical nuclear armaments. This revelation, should it translate into concrete policy, represents a development of immense significance, one that could fundamentally reshape the United Kingdom's established defense posture and its overarching strategic military doctrine for decades to come. The very consideration of such a procurement signals a noteworthy, and perhaps pivotal, evolution in Great Britain's long-held nuclear deterrence strategy, a strategy that has, for many years, been characterized by an almost exclusive reliance on its formidable submarine-launched ballistic missile systems. By contemplating the addition of an air-delivered tactical nuclear capability, the United Kingdom appears to be assessing ways to diversify and enhance its deterrent options, potentially introducing a new layer of flexibility and responsiveness to its nuclear forces. This potential shift, while reportedly still in the preliminary stages of discussion and evaluation, is not occurring in a vacuum. Rather, it is a reflection of the far-reaching and often turbulent transformations sweeping across the global security landscape. It mirrors the heightened sense of urgency palpable among NATO member states to significantly strengthen their collective defense mechanisms and capabilities, and it directly acknowledges the unsettling resurgence of pronounced state-based threats, a concern that has been dramatically amplified and brought into sharp relief, particularly following Russia's full-scale military invasion of Ukraine, which commenced in early 2022 and continues to send shockwaves through the international order. At the very core of this prospective procurement initiative, and the subject of intense scrutiny, is the F-35A Lightning II aircraft, which is the conventional takeoff and landing variant of the technologically advanced fifth-generation stealth fighter aircraft conceived and manufactured by the prominent American aerospace and defense conglomerate, Lockheed Martin. The F-35 program, despite a well-documented history of substantial financial investment and inherent developmental complexities, has undeniably emerged as a central pillar of contemporary Western airpower. This status is largely attributable to the aircraft's unparalleled amalgamation of cutting-edge attributes, including its advanced stealth characteristics designed to evade enemy detection, its sophisticated sensor fusion capabilities that provide pilots with comprehensive situational awareness, its inherent capacity for network-enabled operations allowing seamless data exchange with other assets, and its remarkable multi-role versatility enabling it to perform a wide array of mission types. Crucially, within the F-35 family, which comprises three distinct variants, the aforementioned F-35A, the F-35B known for its short takeoff and vertical landing STOVL capabilities, and the F-35C designed for aircraft carrier operations, it is solely the F-35A variant that has received official certification from the United States Department of Defense. This certification specifically authorizes the F-35A to carry and deploy the B-61-12 tactical nuclear bomb, a capability integrated as part of NATO's established nuclear sharing policy, which allows certain allied nations to host and potentially deliver U.S. nuclear weapons. The B-61-12 nuclear weapon itself represents a significant modernization and refinement of the earlier B-61 gravity bomb designs. It incorporates substantially enhanced guidance systems for superior precision, offers variable yield options allowing for tailored explosive power, and boasts markedly improved accuracy, all of which combine to make it an indispensable component of the United States tactical nuclear arsenal deployed in the European theater. The meticulous integration of the B-61-12 onto the F-35A platform provides NATO with a formidable dual-capable delivery system, an aircraft that can execute both conventional and nuclear strike missions. This platform is specifically engineered to operate effectively even within highly contested and heavily defended airspaces, leveraging the F-35A's inherent low observability, stealth, and its advanced electronic warfare suites to significantly increase its chances of survival and overall mission success. For the United Kingdom, which currently operates the F-35B variant primarily from its Queen Elizabeth-class aircraft carriers, this new line of consideration signifies a notable departure from its existing procurement and operational strategy. The F-35B, while an exceptionally capable strike fighter in its own right, does not possess the necessary internal structural configuration or the requisite software modifications that are essential for carrying the B-61-12 nuclear bomb. Consequently, it is not currently authorized, nor is it adapted, to undertake nuclear delivery missions. The United Kingdom holds a distinct position as one of the 5 nations officially recognized as nuclear-armed states under the terms of the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons (NPT). Historically, it has maintained a robust and independent nuclear deterrent, which, for a considerable period, has been based exclusively on a submarine-launched ballistic missile system. This strategic system, widely known as the Continuous at-Sea Deterrent (CASD), is built around a dedicated fleet of Vanguard-class nuclear-powered submarines, each armed with Trident 2D5 intercontinental ballistic missiles. These submarines, by maintaining a constant and undetectable presence in the ocean depths, furnish the UK with a highly credible second strike capability. This capability is fundamental to ensuring the continued viability of the UK's nuclear deterrent, operating under the strategic principle of mutually assured destruction, which posits that any nuclear attack would be met with devastating retaliation. However, it is crucial to note that this existing deterrent is exclusively strategic in its nature and is not currently configured or intended to address battlefield-level or theater-specific nuclear scenarios. It is precisely in these latter contexts, involving more localized or limited nuclear exchanges, that the inherent flexibility, responsiveness, and scalability of tactical nuclear delivery systems, such as those offered by the combination of the F-35A aircraft and the B-61-12 bomb, become particularly pertinent and strategically valuable. The prospective introduction of the F-35A, equipped with a nuclear strike role, into the operational inventory of the Royal Air Force would, therefore, constitute a truly fundamental expansion and diversification of Great Britain's existing nuclear toolkit. Such an enhancement would provide policymakers and strategic planners with a broader spectrum of options when confronting an increasingly complex and volatile global security environment, an environment characterized by threats that are becoming more varied in their nature, more dispersed across multiple domains: air, land, sea, space, cyber, and increasingly unpredictable in their emergence and escalation. This new capability would also, very likely, signal a move towards greater and more seamless integration with NATO's collective nuclear mission and its associated operational frameworks. Although the United Kingdom has not, in the past, actively participated in NATO's formal nuclear sharing arrangements which typically involve the stationing of U.S. nuclear weapons on the sovereign territory of non-nuclear NATO member states such as Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Turkey, with those nations providing the aircraft for delivery, this proposed acquisition of nuclear-capable F-35As could serve to align the UK much more closely with the alliance's broader nuclear planning processes and operational doctrines. Furthermore, it could furnish a valuable supplementary capability, reinforcing NATO's forward-deployed nuclear forces in Europe, thereby substantively strengthening the overall deterrence posture of the alliance, particularly in the face of Russia's continued military aggression in Ukraine and its increasingly assertive nuclear rhetoric. From a purely technical and logistical standpoint, the successful introduction of the F-35A variant into British military service would undoubtedly entail a complex series of challenges, adaptations, and significant investments. Given that the United Kingdom has, up to this point, exclusively committed to procuring and operating the F-35B STOVL variant for both the Royal Air Force and the Royal Navy, the decision to acquire the F-35A would necessitate the development and establishment of entirely new basing infrastructure suitable for conventional runway operations. It would also require the implementation of comprehensive pilot retraining programs, specialized ground crew instruction tailored to the F-35A's specific systems, and the creation of a distinct logistics and maintenance supply chain to support this different airframe and its unique operational requirements. Moreover, while the F-35B is specifically optimized for carrier-based operations, benefiting from its short takeoff and vertical landing capabilities which allow it to operate from the relatively constrained flight decks of aircraft carriers, the F-35A is fundamentally a land-based platform. This distinction means that any newly acquired F-35As would not operate from Britain's aircraft carriers but would instead be stationed at Royal Air Force installations within the United Kingdom or potentially at Allied bases abroad. This operational paradigm would, in turn, necessitate meticulous and coordinated planning with existing NATO infrastructure and command structures to ensure optimal operational readiness and seamless mission integration in the event of a crisis or armed conflict requiring their deployment. Strategically, the momentous decision to equip the United Kingdom with a nuclear-capable tactical air platform like the F-35A carries profound and far-reaching implications for the delicate global nuclear balance in the established arms control landscape. Such a move would almost certainly attract considerable attention, and likely critical scrutiny, from adversarial states, notably Russia and China, who might perceive this development as an escalatory measure or as an indication of a broader Western strategic shift towards embracing greater nuclear flexibility and potentially lowering the threshold for nuclear use. Conversely, proponents of this initiative would vigorously argue that such a capability enhancement is a proportionate, prudent, and necessary response to an increasingly unstable and dangerous world. They would point to a geopolitical environment in which adversaries are not only actively expanding and modernizing their own nuclear arsenals but are also, in some instances, appearing to lower the conceptual threshold for the potential employment of these devastating weapons. In this challenging context, the possession of a stealthy, survivable, and highly accurate tactical nuclear delivery platform, such as the F-35A armed with the B-61-12, would offer the United Kingdom a deterrent option that is demonstrably credible, inherently flexible in its application, and appropriately aligned with the nature of emerging and evolving threats. Furthermore, the act of acquiring the F-35A would serve to substantially reinforce and deepen the United Kingdom's already significant defense industrial partnerships, particularly with the United States, the primary developer and manufacturer of the F-35, and with the wider international community of F-35 user nations, which includes a large number of NATO members and other close allies around the globe. The benefits of such commonality are manifold. Interoperability between allied air forces would be significantly enhanced, facilitating more complex and effective joint exercises. Integrated operational planning would become more streamlined and efficient due to shared platforms and doctrines, and logistical support could be more easily pooled and coordinated. The political message conveyed by such a decisive move would also be substantial. It would signal unequivocally that the United Kingdom is prepared and willing to shoulder a greater share of the collective strategic burden within the NATO alliance and to contribute additional, highly valuable capabilities to bolster NATO's overall deterrence and defense posture. This message would likely be warmly welcomed by allies, particularly those in Europe who harbor deep concerns about the continent's evolving security architecture and who consistently emphasize the critical need for equitable burden sharing amongst alliance members, especially in the face of escalating global instability and diverse security challenges. The British government's current contemplation regarding the potential acquisition of United States-manufactured F-35A fighter jets, specifically those variants capable of carrying and delivering B-61 tactical nuclear weapons, represents a potentially transformative juncture in the evolution of both the United Kingdom's national defense policy and NATO's collective deterrence strategy. A decision to proceed with such an acquisition would dramatically extend the UK's nuclear delivery capabilities beyond its traditional maritime-based deterrent, integrating it more profoundly and directly into NATO's nuclear operations and planning. It would also furnish the UK with a rapid response tactical deterrent tool, one that effectively complements its existing strategic nuclear assets, thereby providing a more nuanced and adaptable range of responses to potential aggression. While it must be reiterated that this plan is reportedly still in an exploratory phase and has yet to receive formal confirmation or approval, the potential implications of such a decision, for military planning, international security dynamics, alliance cohesion and responsibilities, and the future of arms control agreements, will undoubtedly be significant, complex, and far-reaching if the United Kingdom ultimately chooses to advance down this path.